welcome to another episode of Just Ask Cher Live. And of course, as the minute I go live, guess what I realized I forgot? All y'all who watch and who know me, you know exactly what I forgot. You know what's missing right there, right? Yeah, there, this right here. Yeah, my timer. How can I be super if I can't remember the super important thing like a timer? So let's get that started. But in the meantime, as I'm calling up my little timer, getting ready to go, too fresh for TV, and that's why I'm on the internet. I am here today to talk to you all about making the ask. And I mean asking for referrals, asking for a hookup, asking for something, because you have this amazing network. What's the point of building an incredible network where you can ask people for things? I mean, you have to earn it, but what's the point of having it if you are not asking for things? So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to make the ask. I'm going to give you some tips so that you can ask with confidence, ask with class, ask so you don't embarrass yourself. Because I'll be honest, okay, guys, you may not know me as the passive-aggressive type, and I'm not necessarily the passive-aggressive type, but I even got a request this week on LinkedIn. You know, dude links in with me, and then all of a sudden I'm barraged with whatever templated, formulaic sort of message. Okay, I ignored it, and then another one comes, and then another one comes. And then like the third one, I guess he was into business development and helping people leverage LinkedIn as a way of building business. And then so he asked me, guys, remember what I do. Remember, it takes 2 seconds to take a look at my profile and understand and ask me good questions. Like, I'm all good. I'm in my DMs all the time. I get questions all the time. And, but he asked me, so do you use social media to develop business? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And what's working for you? Considering my title, the first thing it says is corporate social media trainer. Teaching professionals and entrepreneurs how to brand themselves and use social media for business. That's what it says in my headline. Forget reading the rest of my profile. That's what it says. And so it's kind of like I was in a mood. So I had to respond. And because the question at the end was how what effective ways have you found developing business? And then so my response was, well, what I've found is to be very ineffective is when you ask people questions that you could easily find out the answer to by just reading their profile for 2 minutes. So I'm ranting right now. Sorry, guys. I couldn't help myself. And anyways, yeah. And then so I said that, and I said, it takes 2 seconds. I find that it's very effective when you take the time to read somebody's profile and ask them deeper questions rather than asking questions that are irrelevant to them and that you could have easily figured out that they were irrelevant to them. And then I said, P.S., please take me off your drip campaign. So he never responded, of course, but that was my little rant for today. So yeah, I was a little passive aggressive, but okay, give me a little break here because I'm making up for it by sharing with my network. And maybe he's watching. I'm not the one to call people out on their stuff and mention names and screen caps. That's just that's not on brand for me, but I will. This is a teachable moment. So hopefully you're watching and you'll learn a little something about leveraging this incredible platform, the incredible network that you are building so that you can continue to take advantage of this. So let me going too fast. So the question I have for you guys as I check in to make sure I'm broadcasting. I think I am because I saw Chad send me a message, which is great. Chad's my superstar. One of my top number one fans, Just Ask Cher, and just awesome person to connect with. If you haven't met Chad yet, he's just an incredibly smart young professional who is hungry to just serve and help people. So he's definitely somebody you want in your network. But anyways, okay, I see that y'all are watching. So my question for you is, have you ever asked someone in your professional network, and that, I see a little error there. That's okay. Forgive me. For something. Have you ever? Yes or no? Well, the clapping is no, I'm good. But really, I just want to know, have you ever asked somebody for something like that? Because I think it's really important that we do learn to ask. And also, while you're at it, if you're liking this topic, let me know with a thumbs up, maybe a heart, maybe a curious symbol, or insightful. And as you know, LinkedIn's now asking, well, what did you love about this content? What did you think was very curious about this content? But anyways, let me know in the comments. And I'm also going to check to see, ooh, love it. Let me just shout out who is watching right now, because you know I'm loving this. So Whitney says, what's up? Martin says, what's up? Yes, Elizabeth, I swear that's the email. That's the in-mail, or not the in-mail, the message I got. I connect, and then a barrage of just back-to-back templated messages asking me if I use LinkedIn for business. Crazy. Yes. Yes, a teacher. Yes, when you call somebody, don't you love it, Martin? When you call somebody else, it's a teachable moment, right? Love it. Use it. It's so nice. And Janine says hello. And Julie, Team Live, I love it. And Marlo Higgins, she says, of course, we have to be a good steward in our business and ask our tribe for assistance. I love it, because we do have to ask. What's the point? We get so much further when we ask for help. And more importantly, when you build the relationships that you can feel comfortable enough to ask. And believe it or not, with a reputable presence online, you can ask even if you don't know them that well as of yet. So I'm going to teach you guys a bit of the workarounds. And Burton says hello, thank you, hi. And also Angel says, I love this topic, and I'm dealing with the topic right now, trying to network with employers who are hiring so I can send them resumes, free.com, and it's like pulling teeth. Yes, and that sometimes, especially, you know, one of the things that you're going to have to do, Angel, is like take a look at, or start thinking about, well, what's the message that they're constantly getting? And now how can you hit it at a different angle? You know what I mean? So stay tuned, because I have some tips, and I want to make sure that I'm helping you guys out. And thank you, Patricia. She's in for another great show, and asked and built this morning. So I love it. So guys, it's all about building these connections. It's all about making the ask. And so if you've ever asked somebody in your network, let me know. And again, if you're liking this topic, also let me know. Give me some love. Love it. And of course, you know, tap that app 2Ps. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to download videos from the internet. For teachable moments, of course. So for training purposes. So literally, if you, from your browser, there's a plugin that I use that helps me download videos that I maybe later use in like a workshop. Nothing to like rebroadcast or anything like that, because that's wrong. That's stealing. Especially if you're going, but some people, they will take a video for somewhere else. It's not my style, but some people will take a video that's doing really well on Instagram and upload it, not necessarily as theirs, but they're uploading it to share with the world. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Of course, a lot of you may have already been doing it on your phones, but from the browser, baby, I'm still a desktop lover. So I'll make sure I share that with you. And what do I have for, you guys are going to like this, so stay tuned for my scroll stopper. And if you don't know what that is whatever I am scrolling across on whatever network, because I'm on more than one. What stopped this thumb? What stopped me from moving on? Well, this one is like one of those allow me to reintroduce myself. Yeah, I'm not a rapper. But this is one of those things where, have you introduced yourself and what you do to your network? Well, this is a great way of doing it, so stay tuned for that. But first, of course, we're going to jump right in. And Janine says she loved the great topic. Thank you very much. So, guys, the first thing we are going to do is I do have something I want to show you first. And I love this quote from a book that I'm reading right now. When you know people and people know what you do, success will find you. Okay, first of all, how powerful is that quote? I am loving it. And hold on one second and move back to here. I'm loving that quote because it is so important that people, so before we even go in, before we even go with our hand out asking for something, people have to know what you do. And then as you're building the network, and when people know what you do, the successful, like you're building a network of people you know, and then those people know what you do, success will find you. Okay? So, with that quote in mind, I want you guys to start thinking about how you are, and this today is not about how you position your profiles. I talk about that all the time, and we'll talk about it again, I'm sure. But today is how to make the ask. But it is very important that you guys create profiles that when I look you up, I know exactly what you can do for me now. So, not just your title, but what you do now in the role and how you help the people that you work with, how you serve. So I want you to think about that and make sure that your profile is positioned in the way that I clearly can tell somebody else what you do, right? So I do that a lot with my one-on-one clients, as also with my training clients. I'll go in and I'll work the room and I'll help the entire room reposition how they show up online, because that is so important. Because think about how often we validate people. We check their credibility. Oh my gosh, guys, no one told me. So I got, how embarrassing. So I got my timer up, right? And I remembered that I forgot the timer, but I did not remember to press play. That's great. Anyways, because I don't want to mess around with the time because I'm going to mess it up. I will stop in like when the timer gets down to 20. So I gave myself extra time already. Stealing time, reclaiming my time. But it's all good. So I promise I won't take the entire time. But I just saw that not moving and that kind of stressed me out. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So the whole point of having an incredible profile is so that people, when they look you up, they know who you are. And I was telling you that, I do that a lot with teams and as well as individuals, trying to help them articulate what it is they do in a way that converts, so people get it. They can either talk about you, they can bring you up and say, yeah, this is what this person does. In fact, last week I was at a university. I did 5 workshops helping these creative industry professionals, and that's actually the program, creative industries program, and it's all about management and working within the creative industries, which is cool. Anyways, I helped all of them reframe how they present themselves online, because it's really important. So I just want to tell you guys that how important it is to make sure your profiles tell me what you do now. Don't care what you did. I want to know what you can do for me. Okay, I will end there and start in quickly with my tips. So let's move right here. And before I do that, are you team live or are you team replay? I know all my livers are here. And oh my gosh, let me check in. So Marav, thank you for my, isn't that a cool t-shirt? I know. I forgot, because I buy a bunch of t-shirts so I can do the show. I don't know why I have this whole t-shirt thing for my show. And I forgot that I had a whole drawer full, of 4 t-shirts. So I've got outfits t-shirt for the next 4 weeks. Well, 3 weeks now. So it's all good. And okay, Whitney says she's all ears. So let's go team live or replay. Let me know in the comments below, of course. And let's keep this moving. So how to make the ask, my friends. I want to make sure I'm hooking you up with all the details that you need to know. And the first thing that I want you guys to remember before anything else is, have you earned the permission to ask for what you're asking for? This is a big deal. So just like that example I shared right with you in the beginning, it's like you actually lose permission to ask if you're not even asking good questions. And, they always say there's no bad questions. Well, not if you don't do your research. That's a bad question. And so what I mean by the permission to ask is the level of the request must match the relationship, or there's a few things that you can do to kind of work around it. And I'm going to share those secret things, or not so secret things. But what you need to know is are you okay? Because it's like when you meet a stranger and you've talked to them for 5 minutes, so they're a stranger in a networking event, and then you're going to turn around and ask them for a job. That's like, yeah, I don't even know you, right? That's like me asking you to borrow $20. You don't know me yet. You're not giving me $20, right? You got to earn that right. So what you need to know is how much is too much. You can't go in for the kill if you don't know them. But there are things that you can ask. So depending on what it is, it's like asking for information in someone's time is very difficult as well if you don't know them. So one of the ways that you can, based off of your level of relationship, let's say it's somebody brand new, I find personally when asking for something that requires a blog post of a response, I'll send a voice note, because then it's so easy to basically people will know they can respond in kind. It's so much easier to respond with a voice note because I can just speak what I know as opposed to formatting my answer, making sure it's perfect. So that's a way that you can get around if you have a question that requires an in-depth answer. But let's say you're asking for a referral. You need to earn that permission or also provide the information required that can help them. So the first thing that you need to do in order to jump the line on the permission, because you don't have that relationship yet, right? The first thing you need to do is before you even put your hand out, you need to do your research. So homeboy who was asking me, hey, do I use LinkedIn to develop business, clearly didn't do his research, right? Don't ask for things that you can find out the answer to yourself. It's what you do with that information that allows you to ask a better question. So the first thing that you want to do is go on the profile of the person that you want to ask. Let's say you're asking for a connection to somebody or an introduction to somebody. The biggest challenges with asking for introductions is, so say for example, you're like, Cher, I noticed that you're connected with so-and-so. Can you connect me? Problem is, there's probably two problems. How well do you know me? And even if you don't know me that well, that's fine. But I have 17,000 people that I'm following, connecting, all that kind of good stuff, right? So chances of me knowing that person well enough are slim to none. So that is why you need to do your research, so that when you're asking for that connection, you're actually getting clear on the why. So you could say something like this: I did some research, I looked at their profile, and I looked at their company's profile and their website, and I noticed this about them. And the reason why I wanted to reach out to them was because of this. So what you're doing is you're embedding your research. You're actually, quite frankly, you're giving them the words to then introduce you. Because even if I don't know somebody, if I know the why, if I know why I'm introducing them, and if it makes sense, it's not a big deal. I'm also going to give you guys, so if you're on the receiving end of this question, I'm also going to show you how you can make that introduction without putting your brand on the line. So give me just 1 second with that. So the first thing is do your research. Don't ask people for stuff you should already know. It's ask stuff based off of what you learned. Okay, so, and this, I kind of jumped into that, is be very clear about your request. What is your why? Why are you asking? So again, it comes down to, saying that you did your research and you noticed this. And you went onto their website. Be extensive about that. I went onto their website, I looked at their social, I also went to their company's website, and I noticed this. And as somebody who does this, I think it would be a great opportunity for me to, and then be very specific with why you want to reach out to them. And know that how much is too much. So in the sense of how much can you ask for, right? So I love the fact that, here, let's see. So Tim's saying, good point. I say, use your research and your resources and initiative. Ooh, Aaron, I like that. Tim St. Peter. That's pretty dope. Hello, Megan. Thank you for joining me live as well. And yeah, no, that is very important. And also being very clear with your why, because the whole thing is you want to make sure that when you're reaching out to them, that they know why you're talking to them in the first place. And then going back to people knowing what you do, if your profile is solid and your profile is credible, it makes it that much easier. It makes sense. People have this aha moment. If you are going to my next point, if you are asking friends, you want to, especially close relationships, you don't want to jeopardize that relationship, because what may happen is you ask them and they don't feel comfortable connecting you. If they'll just ignore it, then all of a sudden it messes up the relationship, because they don't want to like reach back out, because they're like, oh my gosh, that person's going to ask me to connect them and I don't want to, but I feel kind of awkward in saying I don't. So what you want to make sure is, as well, as you build in your request, you build in an out. Only for close friends. People who don't know you that well, like, listen, it's water under the bridge, whatever, right? But those who are your close connections, where you're asking for a solid, you're asking for a favor, and it's okay. Just let me know if you're uncomfortable. Honestly, I don't mind. I just think it would be a great connection. And they already know why, because you've given them the reason. So that is something that is important. So again, do you have the permission to ask? And if you don't, you need to do your research, right? Be very clear about why you're asking, right? And lay it out for them. Basically, you're writing that request in that framing. So I'll go over that framing just one more time, because I think it's valuable. So I did some research. I'm trying to like connect with the camera and read my notes at the same time. Not as cute, but whatever. I did some research. I looked at their profile, their company's profile, their website, their social, blah, blah, blah. And the reason why I wanted to reach out to them was because of this. Would you mind introducing me? So that's something as simple as that. So, and then that could be whatever reason, whether you're asking for a referral, you're asking for a job opportunity, and it's just about, and then here's why that, they should be introducing you. So that's something that I want you to see, and I'm just going to move the timer down. And then the other thing that you want to do when you're asking for your friends to hook you up is to keep them updated. So let them know what happened as a result of the ask. People are they're fascinated, and it gives you an opportunity to also stay connected with that person. So just keep those in mind as far as tips on asking. And I know I had a few more notes, so let me just take a quick look, guys. And in the meantime, let me know what you're thinking. Are these tips good? Do they work for you? Because again, I don't want you guys to be lazy. You got to ask. Don't ask questions you can answer yourself. And ultimately, you can even ask somebody for something, even if you just connected with them. But it really has to feel personal. You could start your email or your message saying, I know we just connected and I'm really excited. You could be I'm really excited about our connection and how it can grow. I love the fact that you do this or you post about this, but there was one thing that I was wondering if you could help me out with. And then you launch into it. And then of course you're building in your why. And then ultimately it gives them the language to then share you should they choose. You can also build in the out so they can get out. It's okay. And no hard feelings, right? At the same time, you can continue on in the relationship. So the best asks, of course, are with people you've developed the time and put in the effort of building the relationship. And that could be as simple as, sending them a DM here and there, engaging in their content so that you can ask. Also, again, I really think that the biggest takeaway here is the research up front. So, let's see what everybody said. I saw something I really liked. Derek, Coach D. Smith, your influencer consistency is so inspiring. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yes, they do work. And Randy is also Team Live. And in college, it's called plagiarism. In business, it's called research. Holla at me. Tim, you are just coming with the nuggets today. You can be team live, join my team any day. I love it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining in. So yeah, as you guys are feeling this, as you guys are seeing it, I'm seeing a lot of people like this. This is stuff that's helpful. But of course, it's only a half-hour show, so I can't go as deep as I'd like to go because there's so many nuances and ways that you can do it. But ultimately is giving people enough to run with. And then those of you, I promised a little bonus tip. So those of you, if you receive this request where it's like somebody asking you for something, right? Asking you for that referral. If they do, so if they watch this show, right, and they give you enough information, you can then turn around or you can even ask them, well, why do you want to be connected? If you want to be a friend, you don't have to. Not a lot of people have a lot of time. But if you want to be a friend and you want to say, well, how can I introduce you? How should I introduce you? How would you like to be connected? And when you are reaching out to that contact, I usually send them a heads up email first or a message first. And I'll be like, hey, someone in my network who is this person, they do this, they do that. And they've asked me to connect you. I know we don't know each other that well, but I can see why they want to meet with you. Would you mind if I made the connection? And it's up to that person to say yes. So that means you're respecting your connect and then deciding whether or not you want to make the connection. Does that make sense? That's like my favorite because then it allows you to be to offer a little bit of flattery, be more connected with that person even though you don't know them well. As long as you can see why it makes sense, that's how you can articulate it. And then your brand is not on the line because you're saying, hey, I don't know this person, but I see why they want to connect with you. Would you mind if I made the introduction? Also, it shows them that you respect them and you're not just going to slide anybody in their DMs without that request. So I hope you guys like my bonus tip. That could be a whole show. But anyways, I hope you guys like that bonus tip. Let me know in the comments. I'll just jump in one more time. And Whitney says, yes, it makes sense. Love it. So I'll jump in just a second, but I hope you guys found this helpful. And of course, speaking of asks, guys, speaking of asks, if you just want to get on my A-list, just ask Cher if you got questions. If you want the recap to the episode and anything else that links and things that I mentioned that are really cool, you definitely want to hop on the A-list. And that's as easy as going to justaskcher.com, get on my list. I'm going to have some exclusive resources for you guys coming up. A little slow to the gate on that, but not from too much longer. I'm working on it. I've been backlogged, like insanely backlogged. But that is coming to an end. So speaking of endings, with all endings, there is a new beginning, my friend. And that begins the next segment of this show. And it's all about the scroll stopper. And if you weren't tuned in right at the beginning, that's anything that makes me stop my thumb. And what I do with my scroll stoppers is I just break down why and how you can use that strategy in whatever it is you do. I try to find universal examples, even though they could be super specific to an industry. Okay, so this scroll stopper that's bothering me. It's not lined up. There we go. That works for me. Let's see. So here is the scroll stopper that I want to show you guys. And let me show you full screen. So this scroll stopper is brought to you by Charlie Najjar. And he is the VP of Sales at Guidance Care HMO. I help SNFs and medical facilities get in network with various managed care companies. So that is what Charlie does. And what you're seeing right now is a video of Charlie. And let me pull in the video first. So guys, bear with me. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you this video right here. And I downloaded the video, but I forgot to put in my PowerPoint. And then all of a sudden I realized I was running behind. So let's take a look at what Charlie has to say. And then I'll go through my points. It's not too long. It's a minute. I'll probably stop it halfway. But anyways, let's go.
Whenever I go to trade shows, conventions, and different networking events, a lot of people come over to me and I'm like, hey, you're Charlie, you work with Guidance Care HMO, but what does GCHMO actually do? So what GCHMO does is we help skilled nursing facilities mainly, but a lot of different providers get into network with insurance companies. So we literally help them from the beginning of the process, from like credentialing all the way until they can start accepting patients and referrals that get sent their way. We also help with like case management and authorizations, and we have like different services.
All right, all right, all right. You get the point. So, what Charlie is doing is he is introducing himself to his network with a video. How many of you guys have actually done that or done it recently? I see a lot of people, they'll do reintroductions on Instagram, and I think it works really well. But I think that as we build these networks, it's a great opportunity for us to tell people what it is we do and that video component. And here's the thing that I loved about what Charlie did first, okay? So if you're wondering on how to do this, he introduces himself with a story, okay? I love that because he's like, I'm often at networking events, or I went to this networking event, and then I get all these people saying, hey, you're Charlie from LinkedIn, right? So what he starts off with is just a little story, and it's just like a story intro. Sorry, guys, I'm like so thirsty. And anyways, so he starts off with a story. You can say that, just last week, or when I was at this networking event, or I was at this thing, and people were asking me, what is it that I do? And I thought that's a really good question. See, what I'm doing, what I just modeled for you guys was scripting on how you can do this. And, so Charlie didn't use no fancy video. He just did one in his car. You could do one walking and talking. I don't love a walking, talking video because it's just too distracting. It's very, very whatever, but some people like them. Hey. But what I'm saying is you can go grassroots on this, right? And your video should answer who and how he / so his video answers who and how he / they help. And the reason why I have / they is he talks about his company. So the company that he works for. And especially if you're trying to figure out this. And this is just a wonderful way to start getting connected with your network and explaining what you do so people get it. And at the end, and this is another thing why I brought it up, I should go back to it, but I want to keep you guys on time, is he asked for the referral. So at the end of his video, he's like, who do you know in your network that could use blah, blah, blah? And I'd love to meet them. Or who do you know who has questions about this? Let's connect them. So what he did is he asked. So it's another way of asking his network. So you see how I wove that in there? Anyways, yes, don't be afraid to ask your network to connect you with people. And this will allow organically the people that you meet, the people that are getting to know you, the people that build the trust in your video will get to know you better. And at the end of his video, he also shared his contact. So contact information, he shared like the his phone number. He also shared, he also encouraged people to slide in the DMs if they want to ask more questions. So this I found really, really cool. So I'm going to launch a challenge, and this is called the Intro Video Challenge. And I want you, if you do an intro video, I got to do one too. So hashtag intro video. Should we put challenge in this? Such a long hashtag, but we'll do it. Hashtag intro video challenge. That is the hashtag. That's the official hashtag. And I'm going to feature some of them next week on the broadcast. Whoa, look at me planning my broadcast on the fly. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you how you can, using the my scroll stopping device. Oh yes, he used hashtags with his, by the way. But more importantly, back to intro video challenge hashtag. That is what you are going to do. Want to do a video like this? Come on, let me put the pedal to the metal, the iron in the fire. Let's make this happen. I will do mine, but I also want to see you guys do one too. I think it is so valuable, especially if you've been hemming and hawing about video. This is a great way to get in front of your network, let people know what it is you do and how you serve. I want to see it. Tag me in it, plus use hashtag intro video challenge. And next week, I'll feature some of the ones that I really liked. So don't let me down. Don't let me just show mine, because that's not cool, right? Okay. All right. So next up, Video introductions. So let me, before I jump in, video introductions are very powerful. I agree, Janine. I agree. And Madeira says, "Hi, good. I've just started my business." And you can link. She put her links down, which is great. And then let's see, Fasane. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but I will be able to pronounce it right when I watch your video, your intro video challenge video. So she's in. And hello to Andy as he greets all the Cher fans. But so Andy, I'm challenging everybody. I'm talking to you, Andy. I'm challenging everybody to do a video intro challenge. And basically that is you introducing yourself and what you do and all of your awesomeness to your networks in like a minute and a half or less. Just a quick video telling people what you do, introducing yourself. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hove. Well, no. I'm Cher. But anyways, yes. And Martin is in intro video challenge. I'm telling you, I'm going to have to make a whole separate video just on all the cool challenge entries. And Eric, come on, are you in, Eric? Let me see a video from you. And Natasha says, good stuff. And Fernando says, regards, Cher. Thank you, guys. And Randy loves this. Yes, I love it. Randy loves the scroll stoppers. And Martin says, keep them concise. Exactly. $1.50. AKA 1 minute and 30 seconds. It's all they need to be. Quickly, get in, get out. Just tell people, let people know you. Get your video out there. I can't wait to see. So, yeah, you guys in. I'll be looking for them, so make sure you tag, and I'll do mine too. Maybe right after the show because my hair and my face still look good. But anyways, okay. So coming up next, I wanted to remind you guys that, of course, if you don't want to miss a post, if Just Ask Cher is the hashtag that you, my friends, need to be following because perhaps the algorithm will favor me and make sure that you see more of my posts getting out there. So remember, hashtag Just Ask Cher. Follow it. All you have to do is search it and then hit the follow button. Okay, so coming up next, I want to ask you guys a question. Want to learn how to download a video from your browser? For training purposes, of course. Because I'm going to be downloading all your videos next week so that I can make a compilation video of everybody who's introducing themselves online. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to grab all those videos rather than, especially for a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll do it on their cell phone because it's kind of easier. You can screen record and all that stuff. But the problem is when you're doing that, you use up all your memory if you don't have a lot of memory. So I want to show you, yes or no in the comments, by the way. Let me know if you're into this sort of thing. And oh, it's funny. Julie's saying the introvert in her is running from this challenge, but you're totally going to do it, Julie. You're totally going to do it. I know it. So, but yes, downloading videos, right? From your browser. Let me show you what's up and tap that app. 2-piece app. That's right. Anyways, so let me keep you moving. So this is what I want to show you. It is called Video Downloader Professional. You have to use Firefox. And the reason why you need to use Firefox is, and that it's in the Firefox store. I'll go back to it in just a second so you can see it. The reason why is if you use a Chrome downloader, because Chrome is owned by Google and because Google owns YouTube, they don't like these sort of things. And they will, I used to have a video downloader on Chrome, and all of a sudden YouTube's like, you're in violation and blah, blah, blah. So they don't like this stuff. So that, or it wasn't you're in violation, that plugin was in violation of the Chrome browser. So they decommissioned it. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm like devalued. No, decommissioned it. So that's what we don't want. But over on Firefox, the privacy-friendly browser, they have this thing. If you search Video Downloader Professional, I do want to put a little warning in there. It says this is not a recommended extension. Make sure you trust it before installing. I think the main reason why they're giving that, and I'll show you why I'm recommending it with the proviso that it's not a recommended extension. But the reason why they can't recommend it is because it allows people to download things off the internet that might be copyright. That's my opinion. Anyways, I don't know that for sure. But yes, it doesn't get the Firefox recommendation, but check this out. Look at the amount of people using it. So 313 users. Why did I say that right? 363,313, oh my gosh, users are using this. And it has 4.3 stars out of 5. There are over almost 5,000 reviews, so I feel pretty good about that. And let me show you how it works real quick. So here's the video that I meant to include in my presentation, but that didn't quite work for us. So basically we have, anytime you end up on a website where there is a video, this little arrow over here at the very top, and I'll show you what I'm looking at right here in this square, that green arrow will go green. It's grayed out until there's a video. And then it will show you all the video options that you can download. So friends, I think that's pretty cool, right? And if you love it, love it. If not, hey, whatever. But again, here is the name of the extension. And this is what you need to know. All right, so Melissa wants to know, what platform do I use to record this? Well, I'm using multiple platforms. I've actually done quite a few tutorials on the stuff that I use. So just jump back. Probably your best bet is to go to my YouTube channel, and you'll see the 2 videos where I talk about it. But briefly, just so you know, I use Restream to broadcast to multiple networks, and then I use Streamlabs OBS as my broadcasting platform, and I create, how did I get out of time? And then I create all my own graphics. It's all hand created. However, I also recommend StreamYard. So that answers that question. So that, I guess, I jump into my A's to your Q's. And of course, coming up next, I'm going to be looking for your videos, guys. So let me know what's up. And of course, if you didn't know already, sharing is caring. So make sure that you send some love my way by sharing this with your network, because clearly you watched all the way to the end. You see some value. And so I want to make sure that more people in your network get the value, right? But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I'm like way over time, but I really appreciate you jumping in, watching with me, learning with me. And if you felt like you learned something, that's right on brand for me. So, always, as always, stay connected, and I can't wait to see your videos. And yeah, let's all remember that if you want to keep updated with me, just.cher.com, that's the way to do it. And I will see you on the very next episode.